Today, our verse is Luke chapter 1, verse 27. To a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. Our verse is taken from the Annunciation narrative. The angel brought the good news to Mary, a virgin betrothed to Joseph. The Gospel of Luke does not offer us any description of Joseph as we find in the Gospel of Matthew. Apart from this instance where Luke tells us that Mary was betrothed to Joseph, he mentions his name on 3 other occasions. Luke chapter 2 verse 4, chapter 2 verse 16, and chapter 3 verse 23. However, the mention of Joseph in this verse highlights essential details concerning his relationship with Mary and the house of David. He was married to Mary, and he was of the house of David, which legitimizes that Jesus truly comes from the Davidic dynasty. Mary is betrothed to Joseph, but remains a virgin at the point when the angel brought the good news. The word Alma in Hebrew refers to a young woman of marriageable age who has not given birth, or a virgin. The Septuagint translates Alma as Parthenos, a virgin, and the Greek New Testament adopts same for Mary. Although some scholars argue that Alma shouldn't be translated as virgin, both Hebrew and Greek agree that the word could refer to a virgin. Mary was betrothed to Joseph. The concept of betrothal in the Jewish worldview does not fit into our own understanding today. As Eisenberg writes, I quote, Kiddushin is often translated as betrothal, but it does not correspond to the modern conception of the word. Instead, it creates a special legal and personal relationship between a man and a woman that can be dissolved only by divorce or the death of either party. For all practical purposes, the Arusa, affianced bride, is regarded as a married woman, Eshet Ish, and thus is prohibited to any other man. End of quote. Although Mary was already legally married to Joseph, she maintained her virginity because they had not completed the second part of the marriage rites called Nisuin. This state of Mary made her express shock at the words of the angel, "You are to conceive and bear a son." And Mary asked, how can that be? What can we learn from Mary? Mary is an example to young people who are engaged or who have performed some traditional rites before the final stages of the marriage ceremony. She encourages prospective brides and bridegrooms to live chaste lives until they consummate their marriage. Her faithfulness and consecration of her life to God was what set her apart from other women. She serves as an example of a life of holiness and purity. Her eventual response reveals a young girl who was completely dedicated to the will of God. I am the handmaid of the Lord. Let what you have said be done to me. That was a powerful response from a girl who was totally committed to the will of God and was obedient to God's will. And that is why she could make that statement. And finally, Mary teaches us to live holy and chaste lives. She cooperated with the grace of God and invites us to do the same in our lives. Lord, through the intercession of Mary, may you give us the grace of purity of heart and holy life. Amen. God bless you and have a wonderful day.